Guys, welcome back. So today we thought we would do a little review for a lot of our audience out there who are big fans of Mizuno.
Yes.
We've definitely seen that in the comment section when we're paying attention to everything you guys are saying, and there seems to be more Mizuno fans out there than really I'd probably thought there were.
It shocked me. I mean, I've always been familiar with, I don't know, I just thought that it was kind of like an iron connoisseurs thing, like people like Mizuno irons, but they are super, super popular.
Really popular, and there seems to be some real support for what they do, and rightly so, because the irons, they're kind of in that, historically successful range, the Faldo sort of influence of design and all that sort of stuff, the Japanese forging at an affordable price. It's standard price.
They're pretty reasonable, aren't they?
It's not like you're into Miura and Epon and some of the higher end Japanese pricing.
It's true.
The quality is there, but it's it's affordable like any other club. So definitely we've been listening, and which is why we wanted to do this review.
Yeah, so the reason that we've decided to compare, we've got the Forge today of the new line,
the new
919.
919s.
We're going to compare it to the MP18s based on a conversation we had before this where I was asking you kind of, they've got a new line of irons, but they kind of already have another MP line.
Sure.
Do you think that would create some confusion, I guess, for someone shopping for irons? So rather than just kind of do a quick run through of all the new ones, I think we want to make a series of videos with them where we compare them to other models that are similar, not necessarily just Mizuno's, but kind of give people the rundown of why you might choose this 919 series.
That's right. Are you the JPX guy or are you the MP guy?
Exactly.
And I think obviously both have their sort of tour models. So 919 Tour, which is obviously the next edition of the Kepka iron.
Yes.
You've got the MP18s, obviously the blade, versus obviously the split cavity.
Split cavity is this.
Yeah, this is known as the player's cavity. It actually has a very, very similar profile to the blade.
It looks extremely good at address.
The top line is actually exactly the same. So when you look down on it, when you look down on it, it's virtually the same profile that you're looking at.
That's cool.
It's very, very sleek, and definitely, for a player to give them the confidence that they can have the workability you would want with that style of club.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we thought we'd do a little test. Obviously, like we always like to do, we try to standardise it as we can. We decided to make them both the same loft, and they don't come standard as the same loft, Matty. So the split cavity comes at 30 degrees of loft as standard.
And a 6 iron?
And a 6.
Yep.
The JPX Forged comes at 28.
Okay.
So we decided to make them both 28.
Perfect.
In order to sort of get the same characteristics.
Yeah, we want to isolate what the head design does.
Yeah, exactly. So looking across at the numbers, it was actually very minimal difference between the two. We actually found the JPX Forged, the 919, to be marginally quicker, and I'm talking.
And
like
we're talking
points.
super marginal,
and a shade lower spin.
Yep.
So for whatever sort of technicalities would cause that, there's a 1 yard gain. Whoopity-doo.
Pretty similar.
Yeah. So basically, loft for loft, they're producing similar results with a player like yourself.
And with strikes that are good.
With strikes
so
that are good.
We're talking about standardizing lofts, and we're talking about being, I guess, selective with the data and making sure we're not.
That's right.
We're not including bad mishits, but this is a bigger iron, the 919, bigger in all dimensions.
All dimensions. It's longer toe to heel. It's a thicker top line. It has more offset. It's definitely designed with more forgiveness in mind. Even if you flip them around and look at the cavities, you can actually see the weight distribution. Pulling the weight more towards the toe increases the forgiveness, increases the MOI, that type of thing, whereas the split cavity is more of an evenly distributed sort of weight section across the sole.
And I felt that it was much more forgiving on a mishit.
Yeah, I mean, the other part of that as well, which is, for the traditionalists out there, Mizuno have always really believed in their grain flow forging process. Which basically for them means obviously the grains of the grains and the metal all flowing in the same direction.
Right.
Basically gives that consistency that some people talk about, that other irons don't have, where maybe it can be some inconsistencies in the metal, different material content. They say that their grain flow forging is as pure as they can possibly make it.
Right.
Other manufacturers may feel that they do it a certain way, but Mizuno really believe that theirs is as consistent as you can make it. And they actually have a new method of this grain flow forging, which is called HD grain flow forging, which is high density. I was kind of explaining to Matt there. So basically, what they do is, when you get these billets of steel, so think of it like something like this,
like a big piece of steel.
A big piece of steel. It's going to go in there and they're going to pound it into shape.
Yep.
What used to happen with that was the metal would obviously spread, right? So what HD forging is now, grain flow forging HD process, is actually stopping the material spread in all directions when it gets pounded. So there's actually a mold that basically pushes the material when it gets pounded back up into the head.
Gotcha.
So it retains the grain, the sort of grain structure, and it actually makes it more pure. If you
were saying it was a denser material.
That's
and
right.
Basically.
So for the consistency of feel, for the consistency of performance, that type of thing, and it's just the evolution of trying to make a better golf club. Yep. And you got to take your hat off to these guys for continuously trying to make this a better manufacturing process.
I mean, it feels extremely nice for an iron that it is bigger, obviously, than this, and appears to have a little bit more technology. It still feels quite similar in contact to this guy.
Well, the JPX line, which is obviously the more technically orientated line, and remember when it came out, and the JPX 800 line was the first line to come out, and quite interesting that Mizuno would bring out a club with sort of technical elements to the design. So you could leave MP alone, and MP's been it's historical from all the blades that have been played over the years. But the JPX is going after a different type of player. It's the modern golfer, stronger lofts, the mix of material. So this new head has basically has boron in there, which makes the head 30% stronger. Okay. So infusing boron through the material will actually help strengthen the material, and which is designed to create more rebound speed, i.e. ball speed. Oh, okay. So that's something they've tried to do, and that actually goes into the boron goes into the metal mixture, and then before the billets are even created. Oh, okay. So it's not like it's not added in. Yeah, it's not added in afterwards. That type of thing. Yeah. So those are all. We've got great access. Our Mizuno rep is one of the best reps I've ever worked with, and he shares some really great technical things with us, which I really feel so valuable, because it helps us understand the product and the thought and the spirit behind how they try to make a golf club, which I think is fantastic.
I think that's why you're buying Mizuno irons, because that whole story you just told me. If that's the person that wants that whole process to be really kind of tight tolerances and very interesting way of developing the steel and stuff. Yeah. That's who's shopping for this.
Absolutely. I completely agree. And when you know things like that as well, if Mizuno have had a slightly higher price tag at times than some of the other companies, you maybe know why. Yeah, true. The little bit of extra love and kind of thought process and technology that goes into the tradition that a Mizuno is made with, you can really see why there's huge value in that. Right. So, when we tested them at the same loft, Matty, they didn't do a whole lot different. Like we said, they both flew great, fraction more spin in the MP18. But when we decided to go traditional loft for traditional loft, the right thing happened. We hit it sort of a fraction shorter, about 7 yards versus the 919, and about 6 yards shorter than the same iron at 2 degrees stronger loft. It's like half a club.
Half a club is what you expected to see. Yeah, exactly. More spin as well, and
that's it. Interesting though, again, back to what we saw with the i500 test, more loft and lower height.
Yeah, so we actually hit it at 100 feet versus 105 or so. Less ball speed, just didn't go quite as high in the air.
Goes high. Lost the velocity, lost a bit of the height. Right. On average 5 feet.
So that extra spin, I guess, makes up for the landing angle. But we were talking about how this iron design allows for the stronger loft. whereas this probably doesn't so much.
No, I mean, we played it at as strong a loft as you would want to move it to. We wouldn't want to move it more than 2 degrees of loft change and influence the bounce. Whereas this guy, you could go down to 27, 26.
You had a high ball hitter, too much spin, or wants 5 more yards. You have that option with this.
Definitely.
Interesting.
So that's exactly it. Great. I love both of those clubs.
They're great looking clubs.
Really are. I mean, the accolades that MP18 has had are well deserved. They're phenomenal. 919 will continue to kind of get the same praise and credit, which is again rightly so. Like I mentioned to you earlier, I'm really excited for us to test the 919 hot metal.
Yes, you think that's going to be kind of a big hot seller in here?
I think that's going to be a phenomenal. I hit it and it was fast. It felt good. It's not forged.
Oh, it's not forged?
No, it's actually made with a material called chromalloy.
Interesting.
Chromalloy. So that's I guess a cast material, but just the way they've done it it feels fantastic.
Interesting. So you think it'll be kind of a competitor to P790s and those that want to give you more distance, but it'll feel better? Is that kind of the way they're going?
I think it'll be a competitor to like G400.
Okay.
That maybe slightly, because it's a slightly wider sole.
So a large cavity iron, not a hollow body iron.
That's right. Stronger loft, 26 degrees. But I think I'm really curious to see what flight we get out that. Like we've seen with these stronger lofts, as long as the CG is placed in the right spot and we're able to get the right launch with the faster ball speed, we can still flight it no problem at all, even at stronger loft.
Yeah,
so,
and the landing angle will stop it on the green.
Based on just the peak height reached will allow us, as long as we maintain enough spin. Maybe that's one for our new shaft, the new True Temper Elevate that we've just got in the shop.
Little teaser for that.
Little teaser, we just brought the Elevate in, which is. Hit the market recently. True Temper have been working on a shaft that they claim gives 2 degrees additional launch with 400 RPMs additional spin, which is really designed to complement this modern, stronger lofted iron. So you've got the stronger lofted, stronger lofted heads, and then you increase the launch with a fraction more spin. Then you get the ball speed with the launch with the spin.
You get everything.
Yeah, you get everything, and that's not for everyone. That's not. There'll be the people who go, that's just making it a 5 iron. There's people out there who want to hit it further. Yeah. There's people out there who will score lower because they hit it further.
And this gives them the option if they need that little bit of extra. And we have to test to see how good it's going to be. I'd be curious. Hopefully it's as interesting as it kind of sounds.
You go look in our drawers right now. I mean, how many heads are in there right now?
I know. There's do you have more than 30 in there right now?
Easily more than 65.
What? It's that many?
That many.
Oh my God.
No worries. So for every type of golfer, there's something. There's every type of aspect where we can attack improvement. So whether you need the extra distance, whether you need more shot sort of making capabilities through less offset and the type of heads, there's something in there for everyone. Yeah,
no, I'm looking forward to that hot metal test for sure.
As well. I think that's to be honest, happy to go on record early in the life cycle of those ones and say that might be one of the best. Game improvement irons for next year.
Awesome.
Our guys are excited about it.
Great.
Guys, hope this has been insightful. We've seen lots of different people reviewing the Mizuno 919 range, and we didn't want to just do the tour forged and hot metal lineup. Everyone's done that. We wanted to give you a slightly different look at it, which is comparing the models and that type of thing. What we may do is because the left-handed options are fairly limited for Mizuno, which is unfortunate here in Canada, but I might hop over the other side of the camera and do a little testing tour, right? with some of the tour stuff. Yeah. Really put my game to work.
He's hitting it great. Don't worry about that.
So that'll be worth taking a little look at that. Maybe do a 919 tour versus an MP18 blade sort of comparison.
Because I think that's not that they're competing with themselves, but that's again a shopping decision. Someone's like, do I want this or do I want that? Those are two of the big ones.
They are.
Very cool.
Cool, guys. Hope this has been insightful, helpful. Try to kind of deliver the kind of the latest info on the Mizuno line. You guys are going to see a lot about it. They just keep winning these awards when people do these tests. I just keep seeing Mizuno winning these best iron in their category awards. So come out to somewhere like this or go and try them at a store. I don't think you'll be disappointed.
No, definitely not.
No, guys, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again soon.